Welcome to another episode of the A-Team at New Beginnings Farmstead. I am Elisa, and we have Ryan, Julie, Jeff, and Egidio. And we are going to go back to maple season this year, right? Talk about a few things that happened. Jeff was away, so
we missed you.
We did miss you so much, Jeff.
No, you didn't.
Yes, we did.
I don't know if anyone missed you as much as Egidio did, although Ryan kind of missed you too.
Yeah,
I missed you a lot.
So during maple season, one day I know it was January 28th because I had to pull up all these videos that I'm going to show. You guys decided to take the evaporator completely apart and bring it outside. And it was cold out. It was really cold that day.
Yes. No, it was not really cold that day.
No, it was cold.
Cold is a relative term.
I thought it was cold. I think you probably thought it was cold, Julie, because you got all wet.
There's no cold. There was just bad clothes.
Bad clothing.
Oh,
right.
It was raining, wasn't it?
Yes, it was raining. Yeah.
I don't remember rain. I know that you were soaked, Ryan.
Well, don't we have pictures?
Yeah. So go ahead. Why don't you guys tell us about that?
Okay.
I wasn't
Well,
here,
why?
so I got
Well, why
Jeff,
did
you want to try it?
January 28th, it was sunny and warm where I was.
very warm? Why did you guys take it that apart that much? I don't remember you guys ever doing that before.
This is before we started boiling, right?
I think it was before the first boil, wasn't it?
Yeah. We take it apart. We have to inspect the arch, all the fire brick and all the mortar in there, make sure everything is intact and not compromised because it will burn through the outside of the evaporator.
But you don't do this every year.
Not every year. I think
we should.
We should, yeah. 2 years ago we did it. That's why I say it was a relative term, because 2 years ago it was single digits and I was out there pressure washing the thing. I came in looking like a popsicle. This year it was just raining. But you take it apart, inspect it, make sure everything's in good condition, good working order. You get the ash out of places that you can't reach under a normal cleaning week to week.
Nothing like a good ash cleaning.
Yes.
And
got to clean your ash.
Yeah. Anyway, the underside of the pans.
We're going to mark that for a cutoff.
Why? We didn't say anything wrong. Cleaning your ashes.
Cleaning the underside of the pans because they get creosote built up on the flues.
And what is creosote for people who don't know, like me?
Byproduct of burning firewood.
Okay.
Built up on the bottom of the pans, and they don't burn nearly as efficiently. They don't get nearly as hot. And the easiest thing to do is take them off, take them outside, use the pressure wash them out, scrape them out with the flue brushes, and put it back together.
Now, this was an all-day event.
Yes, it was. These pans are very heavy.
Yeah. So why don't you tell us what you're doing here, Egidio? I'm
cleaning out the grates. At the bottom of the evaporator, you can see 2 of the 3 grates were taken out. They're cast iron grates. And the rest of it, you can see essentially how the evaporator, the arch is built. There's the center area where the door is. The wood sits on top of those grates. There's an air channel. That little square air channel you can see at the bottom of the grate has a blower. It introduces air and blows air underneath the fire. That fire then goes up underneath the front pan, the finished pan, and then has that slope to the back where it leaves about 2 to 3 inches underneath the back boil pan. And with the boil pan, you'll see like an accordion style when you see some of these other pictures of the flues where it increases the surface area for the heat, the fire, and then into the back and up the stack it goes.
Okay. Let's see the next picture.
Is that the standard style?
Yes, for an efficient arch it is.
Right. For raised flue. Drop flue is actually the other way around.
Right.
So drop flue, the sap would be in
the pan fingers would go down into the fire instead of the fire going up into the pan itself.
And is one better than the other?
No, not really. Just the design. As far as we know, this is what we have. We came from a flat pan system that we built, so you lose a lot of efficiency. I mean, essentially, if you were to unaccordion or unfold this pan, you'd get a lot more surface area. So, in this picture, we're putting down the what do they call it?
It's insulation.
The gasket.
Yeah.
The gasket around the arch, in between the arch and the pan, just to seal it up so there's any smoke doesn't peel out through that. In this photograph, we're setting up the pressure washer. I'm doing that, testing it before I hand it over to Ryan, who appears to be fully equipped to take on any water.
It was raining
Yeah.
and nighttime apparently.
It
I'm not
was
really sure what's going on here. It looks like
I'm
we're
moving
trying.
the cart.
yeah. This is
She's trying to push furniture in front of us while we're trying to carry that in.
I was moving the
well. You
cart.
started out. It was daytime. Like
Yeah.
it took you hours to clean this.
Oh yeah.
Well,
If
again,
you're-
it's January, so it gets dark at 3:00 in the afternoon, right?
Oh,
Right.
yeah, but still, you were out there for a really long time.
Are you sure this wasn't morning? This
No.
might have been like 6
No, it
o'clock in the
wasn't.
morning.
No.
On
you and I are the
Saturday?
only ones that are up that
Oh,
early.
okay, I was just about to say
Uh,
something.
Julius, I'm
Oh,
not.
Julie's
Julius.
there, yeah.
But for the amount of work
Julie
and the amount
keeps
of time.
trying to say something. What is it, Julie?
Well, I'm trying to explain what we're looking at here. So these guys were trying to move this unit a far distance, and so we tried to figure out what we could use to mobilize it without having to carry it. And so we used this cart, and so I'm bracing it because it's about to land. They're about to lay it down on it, and they want me to stop it from rolling.
Yeah, I remember this. And your leg wasn't quite long enough, was it?
And you can see the side that's facing Julie. The flues are the ones that actually where the fire goes in between. So the sap lays in between those flues, and then stays about what, 1.5 inches, 2 inches above that is the level.
Yeah,
usually?
above the flues. Yep.
Above the flues inside that pan. So there's a tremendous amount of surface area that's exposed to the sap back there and creates a pretty decent boil, hence the naming of the boil pan. Julie appears to be looking up at a moth, or not really sure what you're doing there, Julie.
Must have out of season butterfly.
Yeah.
Well,
Looks like we got the pan on so we were successful in getting it on that cart, and it looks like you just started pressure washing.
Yeah, I think there is a video of it going on the cart. If you want to go ahead a little bit with these pictures.
So there it is on the cart. Yeah. So I don't think the videos will play considering
Okay.
we're doing it here, but you kind of see us putting it back
Yeah.
on here at that point. But you're going to show a couple of videos
Yes.
right in between there.
And you putting it back was quite a job because it's extremely heavy. And you had just put down that white gasket that you're just talking about.
Yeah, in between the boil. So this year we did the same amount approximately, but because we have a better reverse osmosis system, we had to burn less wood.
Right.
So there was less flame, less fire, less smoke, less ash overall. A little bit more efficient operation than we have in the past, because instead of going from, say, 2% sap, which we all hope we get, but we didn't, to about a 4% on the single pass RO that we had in the past, we're essentially going from 2% now to almost 8%. So we're taking a tremendous amount of water out of the sap, which means that the boil time in the pan is greatly reduced, a little bit more efficient operation for our size. Big producers, they're running these things, up to what, 30% or something, 20 something percent. And that's an unbelievable amount of water that they're drawing off of this thing. So, and it doesn't affect the product. So here we're putting the pan back on. I'm climbing into the arch. Ryan's underneath the hood on that side, and Julie is telling us how close we are to dropping it down and breaking something, I think. That's essentially the lookout.
Yep.
At this point, we've got the back pan on, the front finish pan is on, and now we're insulating in between the two pans before we start to put the plumbing back. Yeah, essentially that's what's going on here is we're just pushing the insulation back in between.
I was cleaning.
Julie's cleaning the pans already, although they're not fully assembled. You can see the inlets aren't connected yet.
No minutes
but she's
wasted.
ahead of
That's
it.
right.
Similar to what your wife does all the time by running the vacuum as the sawdust is coming out of the end of the circular saw, Jeff. I cannot believe. I can't believe. Yeah, and we'll talk about that project in the future at some point. So this is a picture of the apparently the wideness of Ryan's back. Somebody
Wow.
wanted to detail this.
That sounded like a fat joke.
No.
Said you got fat ash.
Yeah. Oh, and here's a guy who's showing it off. What do I got? Looks like something's hanging from my ears.
Oh, that's the thing in the background.
Oh, okay.
Those are the hooks on the walls.
Okay. And this is kind of the setup. None of the plumbing's been hooked up yet. You can see all the inlets and outlets are just kind of there, but we have the gaskets in place, and essentially now we're just finishing it up. So this was after we pulled the pans off. So this should have been put at the beginning of the podcast, but this shows the ash and how it operates. The wood being across obviously is just for our ability to lift the pan off. And this is Ryan as he showed up to the farm that morning. Right? Is that how he showed up?
Yeah, it was a long walk.
Would you say he was the Gordon Fisherman?
Yeah, with the raincoat and stuff he had on him. Yeah.
I like Paddington Bear. That's what he reminded me
So
of.
that picture, go back to the picture. So I was up in the loft area organizing the bottles.
Yes.
And Ryan had been outside cleaning, and it was raining, and a combination, I think, of rain and just the water splash and the debris splash from the pressure washer. And so he had put on this coat and protective eyewear and a hat because it's cold out. And he walked in, and it was like, what are you?
And this
And
isn't
his
even the worst one.
beard-
This was only halfway through.
His beard was
Yeah, you were a
fully
mess.
black. Yeah. It was
You were a mess.
disgusting.
Needless to say, the shower that night turned a different color.
Yeah, I bet. I bet you had to scrub down the shower the next day.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. All right, so this is Julie's cleaning the.
Look at how shiny it is.
It
at
is
that.
very shiny.
At this point, you can see the plumbing fixtures and the float boxes that have to be assembled back
So
on it.
did you reseal the chimney?
Yes, we resealed the chimney. Yep, did that as well. Here, this is the front gasket. I'm trying to push the pan back to get some compression on the back one. And then I think you can, there's probably a couple of other videos in here you might be adding when we get a chance. But yeah, so there's quite a bit going on with this. And
Yeah, this was a full day of taking it apart, bringing it outside. Like I said, Ryan was out there for several hours.
Yeah.
Now, were you able to just power wash, or did you have to scrub it?
No, you have to scrub it too. We use cleaner on the back side of it because it's not inside the pan. So use the cleaner on the back side of it. Use the flue brushes, scrub everything down good, pressure wash it out, and then go back through it again and get any of the places that you missed. I mean, these flues are only about an inch wide in between them. So it takes a little bit of time to get in there. And there's two surfaces. And if you do it right, and you can get the pressure washer in there just right, you can really get it clean. For the amount of work that it takes to take these things apart, you want it to be as clean as possible when you go to put it back together. An extra half hour spent cleaning it can make a world of difference throughout the season.
Is there a reason why we wouldn't do that in the middle of summer?
Really?
time.
I'm just wondering. I mean,
Yeah, no, you're absolutely, and we say it every year. Oh, we got to make sure we clean that
next
evaporator,
year,
right?
We're doing it early.
Yeah, yeah.
If we had a checklist,
That's true. That is true.
Sounds like a challenge for Julie.
Uh-huh.
She does love to make
Yeah.
a checklist.
But again, it's if it was during the summer, you'd be wearing the same raincoat because you don't want all that stuff all over you when you're pressure washing it either.
Then you'd be really hot in the raincoat.
I'm not going to stand there in my bikini and do it.
Do you have a bikini?
I was going to say that's a whole nother episode. Ryan's Mankini.
And if you'd like to see that, put it in the
I don't know. I
comments.
think maybe we
Put that
should
in the
do it.
comments.
Please like and comment.
We were thinking about putting together an MBF calendar, and if that's the case, then
If we can if we can get 100,000 likes on here, you will watch me wash this in my mankini this summer before we
challenge
get.
accepted.
Oh, I
Be
think
careful
that's
there,
a
big man.
short I'm going to post on social media.
That's-
100,000 likes, and I will wash that.
Are you listening, Joe Rogan? Send a couple
Say
our
this
way.
again. Hold on. Say it again.
We get 100,000 likes on this. I will wash those pans in my mankini.
Excellent.
I will
right.
absolutely.
what if we do
In
get 100,000
January.
likes?
Then I will wash it in my mankini.
He's going to have to do it.
In January.
I am not in January,
No, he'll do it now, right?
but I will do it during the summer. Yes,
All right.
I will.
Wow.
Oh, I'm going to have to cut that and make it.
So you cut
eat
it
your
from
words.
100,000 to 1,000.
What do you think?
It's
1,000?
not the deal. the deal.
100,000's a lot.
No, it's not.
All
Not
right.
in today's world.
How
All
often
right.
do we run the brushes in between the flues? Pretty much between firings?
Hold on. We need to be clear. 100,000 likes on YouTube.
Doesn't matter. You get
Okay.
100,000.
Just
All
on
right.
this show or on our podcasts in general?
No, on this
episode.
This episode.
Okay.
Who wants to see
All
me
right.
in a mankini?
Oh, I do.
That'll be 100,000 people.
100,000 likes.
100,000
Also,
people.
does the word mankini exist, or did you all just
No, Jeff, that's what they use out
No,
overseas.
no,
right?
no. Don't get me involved in that one.
It just rolled right off
You
your
said
tongue.
it right.
You
Like
you
you've
didn't
been
even
saying it,
hesitate.
Jeff.
Yeah.
A
like
lot of
it's-
time spent in Europe.
Jeff, do you have a mankini?
I do not.
Is it a Speedo? Same thing as a Speedo? Speedo is like the Kleenex
Well,
version.
there's a top to a mankini. There's a top to it, isn't it?
No,
No, that's
No.
a tankini.
Oh,
no, mankini's just bottoms.
well, it looks like we already have a like.
I don't think you count.
Okay, I will be liking it though.
Yeah, me too.
I might make
We're-
a couple of false accounts for this.
We're going to definitely like this.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Sorry, Jenny.
Okay.
I lost like everything I was going to say.
Yeah, I know. I get you. Just
All
the
right.
image of him being
Yeah.
in the
I
mankini,
got to see the mankini.
covered in all that ash.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
Then I will have to wash my ash a little better.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right. So, all right. Well, hopefully we will get a chance to
See that.
see that in the summer. But if we don't, I'm going to keep posting this because I'm going.
And
for it.
how about this? We up the ante. If we reach 100,000 likes and he does it in his mankini, the first 100 likes gets to see it firsthand. They'll actually come to the
Oh.
farm
And see it
and
live.
see it live.
Wow.
Wow.
This is
All
getting-
right.
Now we're
Yeah,
talking because this
okay.
way they get invested in making sure they
All
promote
right.
it.
All right.
So the first 100's key.
All right. And we can make waffles. And people can have the
They
syrup.
can use the syrup.
Yeah, I'm deploying again. Sorry.
Can we do it on Maple Weekend? That would be quite the show.
Well, that's still kind of cold, Maple Weekend.
Yeah, it's
oh,
kinda
stop.
cold.
We have a
Yeah.
heater. Now we
Yeah,
have
we
a
got a
heater.
heater.
Yeah,
Wait,
not
does-
outside
Does
where
the
he's going
time
to
of
be
year
doing it.
matter?
Absolutely
In his
matters.
mankini,
Why?
I would imagine.
Yeah, why
Because a
does that-
mankini's not a mankini when it's that cold. It's just a bikini.
This has turned a whole
Yes, it
different
has.
direction.
I think some editing needs to be done in this video. Uh-huh. Okay.
All right.
Anyway, so we run the brush through in between the firings, clean the ash out front and back, and you fire it up. Good to go, right?
Good to go. We hope.
Well, it did
Because
work.
it's been an
right?
entire year since it's been apart. So we have to make sure all the gaskets are sealed
Mm-hmm.
and it
Yeah.
it takes a little bit. There's a lot to it. These evaporators are very complicated. For as simple as the operation is, that putting it back together is quite the puzzle.
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm intrigued. I'd like to see how big operator, like these monstrous, huge evaporators, these torpedo style evaporators get cleaned out.
I'd like to know how often other maple farms do that. Like take the whole thing apart because that's a lot.
Maybe
No,
they
for-
just bring it to a car wash and put it on a trailer.
Maybe they do. Maybe they need an evaporator trailer.
Another trailer.
Oh, Julia, sounds like you want a trailer.
And that could be a good
Evaporator.
gooseneck trailer.
Well,
Yeah.
it's better than the cart thing that we used.
That would be good. And then just
Sure.
back the trailer
Right
into
up.
the sugar house.
Yep.
Okay.
It's actually a good idea because then you wouldn't have to. It'd be easier to bring it in and out.
Well, we know somebody that actually uses their evaporator in a old school bus.
Yep.
Evaporator in a bus. They clean out, took out all the
Mhm.
seats. They put a chimney on it. They can drive it around. They give tours to the school children.
Oh.
They pull in the parking lot. The kids come out. It's propane, so there's no wood or anything to carry with him. But he fires it up, starts to make maple syrup.
But doesn't also up in Ontario school? That's what
They
Patrick
do make
does,
it
right?
there, yeah.
But
Yeah.
he brings it around to different schools. It's on
Yeah, it must
it's on
be.
a trailer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Mobile maple.
mobile maple.
Wow.
Nice.
Okay.
All right. Well, I look forward to that.
A lot
I
to look forward to.
That's
You got
true.
a lot to look
100,000.
forward to.
100,000.
100,000. All right. We'll see. We'll try. I do want to recognize that our team, John Deere, is representing today. So if anyone watched the episode on the farm equipment, you would know that Julie, I'm neutral. I'm fine with anything,
Wow.
but I know everybody was haters, right?
Not
You were
haters.
surrounded
Well,
by
not
haters.
I think it
No.
started with me just acknowledging that there is no presence of John Deere here. And I thought that felt very discriminatory against John Deere. And so
And
Well,
Julie
there's no
said
Coyote.
she's
There's no
Team John
Caterpillar.
Deere.
There's
Right.
no.
Right. There's a lot of
There's
brands.
a
that
lot
we're
of
missing
brand
there.
of tractors that we don't have. We just happen to be fortunate enough to get the best, which is Kubota. Sorry, John Deere.
Team John
However,
Deere.
however, because she came from a John Deere farm,
That's what we're told. We still haven't heard that story.
there's no story.
Well, it sounds like there's a story. yeah,
There's no
maybe you can
story.
tell that story during the Mankini
There's
episode.
literally- okay, I will. I'll make up a story.
Sounds good. Does
Uh-huh.
that wrap up this episode?
You tell us.
Okay. Well, hopefully we'll get lots and lots and 100,000 likes. We'll see how this goes. And we hope you join us for that. And that's all for now.
See you soon.